campus, or they should live in dormitory in campus. That was the prompt. Choice questions, yeah. I mean, choice paired prompts. Live in dormitory atau tidak. Atau bisa di luar dormitory, di luar kampus. That was the prompt. So, as a test taker, you were asked, what's your opinion? Which is better, live in dormitory or off campus? And I need you to listen just this once, one more time, okay? Listen and focus on the grammar and vocabulary. Coba lihat deh, ini dapat 4. Karena dia memakai struktur kalimatnya, memakai vocabulary and grammar as such. Okay? Listen carefully.
I think the first year students should live on campus. That is because in the first year of especially the first semester, they will have a heavy load of subjects they have to follow, and that means that they have to be able to be on time in campus. And also, the first year of campus life needs them to be familiarized with buildings, with the surroundings, with the environment of the campus itself. So, more times in campus will help them to do that. And also, you have to have lots of friends to be able to make yourself at home in the campus. At least this is the home for you for the next 4 years. So it's important to socialize.
Okay. You hear that? Yeah, in terms of grammar, listen to her sentences. Listen to the vocabulary, the expressions that she used. She did use heavy load of word. Yep, thank you, Umar. You remember that? She used the 4 up years to familiarize herself. Good. Okay. She used a lot of those terms. And not just use it, but use it in the correct way. They have to familiarize. Gak bisa, they have to familiar gitu. Beda loh ya. When you say they have to familiar, itu nggak ada. Because you need the verb. They must familiarize. They have to familiarize themselves. So that the buildings, the facilities in campus will be familiar. Now, that is your grammar. It's not just vocab. That's your grammar. You need to know when to use familiar, familiarize, and familiarity in the correct sentence. All right? Okay? Yeah? Okay. Now, topic development. Topic development. So, did she answer the prompt? Did she respond to the prompt fully? Okay, there is a question from Corey. Santika, can you just write that down? Because I will be answering questions at the end of the, at the end of the session, yeah? Jadi ditulis aja dulu semua question. Okay, so how fully did she, yes, most of you said. So she did answer the prompt, right? Was it clear? Was it clear the way that she expressed her ideas? It was clear. She said, okay, I think they should live in campus, in dormitories, because number 1, it's easier for them to go here and there. They're going to have lots of work to do rather than just spend their time going from off campus to campus. So they just need to walk. They just need to wake up and then it'll take like 5 minutes walk or maybe just 3 minutes walk, right? Okay. Aside from that, they have to make friends, okay? And so when they're around campus, when they live in dormitories, I'm sure that they will make more friends or easier to have friends, okay? To make new acquaintances, okay? And etc. Very clear, yeah? The way she connect the ideas also, okay? Right? So, that's just an overview so that you don't forget about the speaking. Okay, and now I'm going to move on to the writing tasks. all right? Again, just like the speaking, the writing tasks, of course, also, what is that? Comprise of two types. One independent, this time it's not four like the speaking, but it's only two. One is the independent and one is the integrated skill. Okay, we have, or you will have 50 minutes, all right, to do this. And again, the scale score is 0 to 30, right? Okay, let's take a look. Now, the integrated writing task 1, what's going to happen when you take it? So you're going to see a 200 to 300 word reading passage, and you'll be given 3 minutes to read that passage. Afterwards, after the 3 minutes, the passage will disappear from your screen and you're going to hear a 2-minute lecture about the same topic. Just like when you had your integrated speaking, ya. Ini mirip loh, atau hampir sama promnya. You see integrated 2 dan 3, gitu kan? Integrated 2 and 3 is speaking and, reading and listening. Now this is the same. Reading and then listening. Now this time, tapi dia a lecture. Sudah pasti kalau di sini. The integrated writing task for is always a lecture. Okay? Now, please, the first time that you listen to it, you must be able to identify, okay, whether the lecturer is giving this something about the same topic, but from a different perspective. Most often, it contradicts what is given in the reading passage. All right? Contradicts. Or the lecturer can also give additional information, elaborate. Ingat nggak tadi contohnya, okay, from the lecture, from the, what is that, the third one, ya, tadi yang tadi, kalau tidak salah yang 3 tadi, yang speaking 3. Okay, itu ada about target marketing, gitu, and then the lecturer itu explain, elaborate about what is target marketing, lebih detail. Itu yang kita sebut, this is what we call additional information. But I'm saying that more often it's going to be from a different perspective. It's going to contradict, question something that was written. Okay? Okay. And afterwards, the passage will return, so you can still see the passage again, right? And you'll be given a prompt. You will have 20 minutes to respond to the prompt. Approximately, the graders expect you to write 150 to 225 words. Okay. Why? Because if you write less than 150 words, probability factor is most probably you're going to miss a few things that was here or here. Okay? You're going to miss a few points that you read or that you listened to. Okay? And because of that, you're not able to elaborate more than 150 words or just in 100 words. Coba deh, 50 kata itu, it's just like 3 sentences loh. 4, 5 sentences. Yeah? Okay. So that's why we expect you to write 150 to 225 because it is just the right amount of words for you to be able to write something about what the reading passage said, okay, and the connection with the lecture. Okay. Okay. Nah, coba yuk kita coba. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes for this. All right. Is Santika, hello? Are you there? Are you going to help me? I can also time them. You are?
Here.
Okay, great. So from now, yeah? Let's start from now.
3 minutes starts now. Five seconds left. Time's up.
Okay, everyone, time's up. Yeah? Okay, we're going to see what happens next. So this will disappear from your screen, and you're now going to listen to a lecture about the same topic. So listen carefully.
No memoir can possibly be correct in every detail, but still, the Chevalier's memoir is pretty accurate overall, and is, by and large, a reliable historical source. Let's look at the accuracy of the 3 episodes mentioned in the reading. First, the loan from the merchant. Well, that doesn't mean that the Chevalier was poor. Let me explain. We know that in Switzerland, the Chevalier spent huge amounts of money on parties and gambling, and he had wealth. But it was the kind of property you have to sell first to get money. So it usually took a few days to convert his assets into actual money. So when he ran out of cash, he had to borrow some while he was waiting for his money to arrive. but that's not being poor. Second, the conversations with Voltaire. The Chevalier states in his memoir that each night, immediately after conversing with Voltaire, he wrote down everything he could remember about that particular night's conversation. Evidently, the Chevalier kept his notes of these conversations for many years and referred to them when writing the memoir. Witnesses who lived with the Chevalier in his later life confirm that he regularly consulted notes and journals when composing the memoir. Third, the Chevalier's escape from the prison in Venice. Other prisoners in that prison had even more powerful friends than he did, and none of them were ever able to bribe their way to freedom. So bribery hardly seems likely in his case. The best evidence, though, comes from some old Venetian government documents. They indicate that soon after the Chevalier escaped from the prison, the ceiling of his old prison room had to be repaired. Why would they need to repair a ceiling unless he had escaped exactly as he said he did?
Okay. So, my question is, this is going to be my question. Did you hear the lecture supporting what's in the reading, or did you hear the lecture contradict? Support or contradict? Okay, good. It contradicts, right? Yep, the lecture contradicts the reading. Very good, great. And so now what do you need to do? Remember, just like in your just like in your speaking. Yeah, just like in your speaking. Okay, remember integrated skill? You need to be able to identify the key points. Right? So this is what the readers, or this is what ETS, okay, wants you or expect the test takers to be able to understand when they read and when they listen to the lecture about the Chevalier's memoir. Okay, number one. So you see that there are three things. The first one, in the reading, we're talking about the loan that the Chevalier took from the Swiss merchant. According to the reading, this shows that the Chevalier wasn't rich. In the listening, you said that it contradicts. Well, how does the lecture contradict the reading? It said that the Chevalier had wealth. It's not that he was not rich, because he had wealth. But the wealth was in the form of property. And therefore, he had to borrow money because he had to sell his property first to get cash. And of course, in that case, that would take more time, right? He did it cash. And so he borrowed from the Swiss merchant. It does not mean that borrowing money, okay, or asking for a loan, it doesn't mean that he was not rich. That's what the listening, that's what the lecture, yeah? That's what is saying. That's the message. So it contradicts about Chevalier's what? What is the topic? What is the idea? I'm asking for one word. Coba deh. Yang lagi diomongin ini apa sih? Danny already answered. Wealth. Okay. Everybody agrees? Isti? Thank you. Yes. That's the thing that you should be able to point out right away. Oh, okay. Number one, wealth. Number two. Let's go to number two now. The accuracy of the conversation. the reading first, yeah? Because the Chevalier's memoir was written such a long time after the conversations he had with Voltaire, what happened? It can't possibly have captured the conversations accurately. So this is talking about the memoir. The memoir, I mean the things that he wrote down about the conversation with Voltaire. So the reading said, how can the memoir be, or how can the conversations with Voltaire, the story of the conversations with Voltaire, how could it be accurate when it already happened a long, long time ago, right? So it can't possibly have captured the conversations accurately. The lecture says, wait. The accuracy of the conversation should be believed. Why? It happened a long time ago. Yeah, but the Chevalier wrote down as much as he could remember. When each night, directly after the conversations he had with Voltaire. And of course, he used these notes to write his memoir. Okay? Yeah, you see how the lecture counter the claims. Itu yang kita sebut counter argument. Alright? Okay. Nah, jadi number 1 is wealth. Number 2, what is the topic? Number 2, what is the topic? Sorry. Mungkin kalian harus kayak the apa. Kita bicara apa? Kata kuncinya apa ya kata kuncinya? What is the kata kunci? Can you tell me? Accuracy, good. Ya, kalau you say accuracy of what? The reliability, Arya, reliability ya. Okay. Ya, jadi the reliability or the accuracy of the conversation with Voltaire. Okay, good. Okay, tuh, udah ketangkep. Yang kedua. Let's go to the third point. What about the third point? The reading says it is likely that the Chevalier bribed jailers to escape from prison. Because it says there, the story of about his escape from a Venetian prison all by himself through the ceiling is fiction. So they believe that actually the Chevalier's friends bribed jailers. Gitu. Right? And so the jailers let him go. And he did not escape by himself. Right? But the listening or the lecture, again, counter that, argue that. Hey, wait. There were others in the prison that had friends who were more powerful than Chevalier. So other prisoners had more powerful friends than Chevalier. Yet, these friends, okay, didn't escape. Right? And so the Chevalier's exit was not due to a bribe. It couldn't have been that the jailers were bribed, because other powerful prisoners there with more powerful friends didn't escape. So maybe if they tried to bribe the jailers, it didn't work. Argument, ya, itu counter argument, okay? Itu common sense-nya yang dipakai. Okay, and then, well, if you say that, itu kan bukti, evidence that contradicts, gitu ya. Evidence that can be used against the claim from the reading, bribe jailers. There is also evidence that can support the idea that he escaped on his own, not because of the bribery. And that's where in the sentence it says, the ceiling had to be repaired. So this is good evidence that the story is a true one. Remember that you are now dealing with academic texts. You're dealing with academic assessment. It means there is a lot of this going on in your writing as well as in your speaking and listening. Itu ya. Okay. So this is what I always remind everyone who's going to take the TOEFL iBT. Remember, ya, pada when you say, it's got to be academic style. What I mean by academic style, topic developmentnya itu is academic style. Gampangnya gitu aja deh. Gaya akademis dong, ilmiah. Berarti apa? Ada support, ada evidence, ada data that support. Okay? Terkecuali tentunya yang speaking nomor 1, karena itu based on opinion. Tapi opinion pun harus you support dengan logic. Okay? Dengan common sense. Gitu. Right? So, it's the same for writing. Nah, seharusnya when you read, okay, the text about Chevalier for 3 minutes, you write notes. Yeah? This is note taking. There are many ways to take notes. This is a note taking example, template, that is relevant to what you're going to do when you prepare for your writing. First of all, you need to get the main points, right? Now, what do you do with the main points? You write down the main points in a template. And the template, of course, it's just common sense that the template has to be contradictory between one and the second source, right? So I put down here listening. So this is what we call a T note because it forms a T. Hope you can see that, right? And then you can always put the reading first if you want to, or you want to put the listening first, whichever. Ini ada kenapanya saya taruh listening duluan di kiri and reading di kanan. Padahal what you're going to experience is that you're going to read first, right? And listen later. But I just want you to look at the template. When you have a T, it means that you're comparing between what's on the left and what's on the right column. In this context, it means the contradictions. What did the listening say? What did you get from the listening? And what did you get from the reading? Okay? Sometimes, as I said, ini 99% akan begini. Tapi ada 1%. And I cannot guarantee anything, yeah, because it has like hundreds of test items that we don't know. Okay, you maybe tiba-tiba dapatnya bukan contradiction. Tiba-tiba you get what is on the lecture supports what's in the reading. So what happened is that, of course, your note will be different. You will not be using the same template. You'll be using some kind of an outline like this For example, the reading claims, okay, 1. There is a claim 1, claim 2, claim 3. Dalam hal ini, claimnya reading, loan, accuracy of the conversations with the Voltaire, and then the escape. Gitu kan? Ya, oke. Misalnya, si listening bukannya malah contradict but mensupport, tentunya the lecture, then your notes will be, the notes will be support A, support B, from for claim 1. Then you have support A, support B for claim 2. Then you have support A, support B for claim 3. Okay? Nah, why am I strongly suggesting that you've got to have template? Kalau dalam hal ini kamu harus punya template. Karena you don't have much time. Gitu loh. Jadi kalau dari awal ya udah, it's not about working hard, it's about working smart. Okay? Kita juga harus smart ya, gitu. Now, because at the end, you're going to see this. So that was just the process, right? You read, you listen, take notes, notes-nya yang model bagaimana template-nya. And then, because at the end, you're going to write, right? Okay, and I need you to, if it is not clear, just listen to this. This is the question, yeah? This is the question. This is the prompt, yeah?
Summarize the points made in the lecture, being sure to explain how they respond to the specific points made in the reading passage.
So what do you need to do? Summarize, right? Summarize apa? The points made in the lecture, being sure to explain how these respond to the specific points made in the reading. Ya, and berapa ratus kata? Nah, itu tadi ada di direction. You have 20 minutes to plan and write your response. Your response will be judged on the basis of the quality of your writing and on how well your response presents the points in the lecture and their relationship to the reading passage. Typically, an effective response will be 150 to 225 words. And we know why. Itu kan, I already explained. Dia keluar lagi, bling, keluar lagi dia. And then you have this, and then you, then you write. Nah, waktu you menulis, itu kan, you already have these notes kan. Your notes will be your outline. Okay, so you're doing things 2 in 1. Jangan urak-urak, seenak urak-urak gitu. And then, waktu dikasih waktu menulis, itu kalian berpikir lagi. Hah? Jadi gimana? Ini tadi begini, ini tadi begitu. Oh, oke. Terus jadi saya nulisnya dari mana ya? You're wasting your time. Okay? Work smart. Now, so this is what's being asked. In 20 minutes, you have to write 150 to 225 words explaining. Ini tadi, saya ulangi di sini, right? Maybe it was too small for you. Now you can see it better. Now, how the listening passage undermines the points made in the lecture. And it is common that they come with 3 things. Ini udah modelnya ya. So 3 points, right? Ini tadi you said wealth, berarti is Chevalier rich or not? Accuracy of the memoir or accuracy of the conversation between the Chevalier with Voltaire, is it accurate or not? The escape, gitu ya. The escape, is it because he escaped on his own, or is it because he bribed or his friends bribed the jailers? Ini usually 3 points. So listen carefully and read carefully and try to extract the key points. Usually 3. Usually loh, nggak harus 3, tapi biasanya begitu. Nah, yang sudah kita pasti pakai untuk ini yang sebelah sini ya, right? The left side. Oke, terus kita apain? Now, how do we make an essay? How do we make a 150 to 225 composition, writing about this notes that we have taken? I am going to be quiet for about 1 minute, and I'd like you to read this carefully and try to understand. Okay, now this is a hamburger, okay, a paragraph hamburger. Yeah, because basically you need to make this into a paragraph about the loan. All right. So first of all, how do we make a paragraph? Is a paragraph just sentences? No. A paragraph is like a hamburger. It needs 2 things to hold it together. Here it is. The 2 things here are the buns, right? You have the top bun and you have the bottom bun. So why the bun? Because the 2 buns hold things. And this is the topic sentence or the main idea sentence here. The opening to introduce what's here, right? And the conclusion sentence is at the bottom because it summarizes what's here. Okay, this is the opening and this is the closing. And what about these things? These things is about the details of the loan based on how the listening contradicts the reading. Dari kiri ke kanan. That's why I put the listening here. So it's practical for me. If I have to write something, it's practical for me. Oh ya udah, si listening ngomongnya begini, si lecture ngomongnya begini. Sedangkan padahal the reading says this. How it counter argues what's in the reading. That's why I put the listening here. It's just easier for me to understand. Okay? So the lettuce, the tomato, the cheese or the mayonnaise and the meat, those are the details. Ya ini isinya ada property lah, takes time to get cash. Jadi sebetulnya dia itu rich, bukannya not rich lah. The details to support itu loh, bahwa ada kontradiksi between the listening and the reading. You make this topic into one hamburger, gitu kan? Nanti ada burger lain ya, Conversations with Voltaire. There is another paragraph, itu kan? And there is another one for 3 for the escape, talking about the escape. So you have 3 main ideas gitu loh. Ada 3 yang harus kita bisa tuangkan dalam bentuk 3 paragraph. The first one is about the loan, whether that proves that he's, the first one is about the wealth, and it has something to do with the loan. The second one is about the accuracy, which has something to do with the conversations with Voltaire. And the third one is, of course, about the escape, whether he escaped on his own or whether he had friends make bribes. Okay? So you have 3 paragraphs. Ini 1 or 2 sentences that has a strong hook that tells the main idea. Idenya dari tadi wealthy or not wealthy itu apa sih? The lecture, gitu kan? You start with simple idea. The lecture contradicts, or the lecture, what is that? The lecture opposes the idea that the chevalier is not wealthy. Then you explain. Okay. Includes examples and text. Ini kalau kita urai tadi ya, jadi kan ini harus ada opening, atau you say the lecture contradicts the reading in terms of Chevalier's wealth. Itu udah cukup untuk menjadi pembuka. Karena orang yang baca, oh bagaimana si lecture mengkontradiknya? In the reading it says that, right, or the reading believes, the text says that, kenapa? Si Chevalier was not rich because he had to borrow money from the merchants. However, nah itu kalian pakai itu yang namanya connection ya. Okay, however, on the contrary, kalau we're talking about contradiction, then you have to remember the time atau the relationship, the words that use this kind of relationship to express this kind of relationship. So this is the first sentence, and then you have a second sentence. Ada tadi tuh si reading ngomong begini, gitu kan? Karena dia borrow money from the merchant. Terus yang ketiga, however, kan gitu. Include examples and text evidence that supports the main idea in the 3 support sentences boxes. Maksudnya ini ya, kan tadi kita udah bilang, berbeda loh antara lecture sama reading. Bedanya gimana? Then you kasih dong, you give the evidence, bedanya di sini loh, ABC. Maksudnya ABC itu about the loan, all right? 3, include examples, evidence, okay, to support what you say here, bahwa ada bedanya. Nah, itu bedanya di support di sini, ya. And then jadi, right? Then you sum up, as I said, summary. Jadi tutup. So it is very clear, it is very apparent that according to the listening, atau according to the lecture, the Chevalier is not, is wealthy. Itu kan? Udah, tutup. Alright? Now, this will make one paragraph about wealth. Right? That's going to make one paragraph. Kamu harus bikin 3 paragraph. We have to make 3 paragraphs loh. With the same paragraph structure. With the same idea. About the loan, about the wealth, about the accuracy of the conversation, and then about the escape. Akhirnya kita akan punya hamburger yang triple decker, gitu ya. Because I was thinking last night, ini gimana ya bikin anak-anak mudeng gitu. Kalau saya bilang, kan biasanya ada double, apa tuh sih kalau di McDonald's you have that double Mac atau apa Mac lah namanya. Berarti double semuanya. Dagingnya 2, cheese-nya 2, right? Now, this we're going to have 3 sebetulnya. 3 daging, 3 cheese, berlapis-lapis. When you put that paragraph, so you have the 3 paragraphs already in the middle. Nah, dia jadi hamburger yang lebih besar lagi. Bannya becomes the introduction to an essay. Kalau kita taruh 3 hamburger itu satu, it becomes not the hamburger paragraph, but for a paragraph hamburger, ini menjadi the hamburger essay. Because you put paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3. Blah, 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 blah. About the wealth. Blah, blah, blah here. Okay, the tomato is blah, 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 blah. A paragraph about the accuracy of the memoir, of the conversation. And the third one here is blah, 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 blah. A paragraph about the escape. Then you will have 3 paragraphs already. Don't forget, just like the paragraph, we need an opening or an introduction. This time it's not an introduction to a paragraph, but an introduction to an essay. Yeah? And we need a conclusion. Okay? All right. I need you to think now. Okay? You can take a screenshot of this, or you can just go to Google, because I got this all from Google. All right. So you can go to Google and just look for this. Yeah. Okay. They have explanations. Each sites will have the different explanation, but this is the same. This is what it means. And so, how does our hamburger now looks like? It's the Super Mac. It's not the Big Mac. Just remember that in McDonald's, you have the Big Mac, which is double, yeah? Okay? Which is like twice of everything. Now, this is the Super Mac. Because the Super Mac, okay, consists of the 3 paragraphs itu tadi. Sorry ya, kenapa saya ada ini ya? This is a typo. Okay, paragraph should not be like this. Okay, with a PH. Yeah, this is a typo, right? So this is about wealth, accuracy, conversation, and escape. And this is the intro, and this is the conclusion. All right. I hope that's clear. Nah, coba deh lihat. Sekarang kita fokus ke sini. The notes, ya. These are the notes. When you take notes, you do not copy everything that you listen to. You do not copy everything that you read. You have to take keywords study. Keywords to help you understand. Jangan keywordsnya orang ya. Keywords yang bantu kamu understand. And usually, kalau supaya saya paham dan supaya saya ingat, supaya memudahkan saya pada saat saya harus merubah notes itu menjadi kalimat, then I usually have to nulis, take down the verb. Harus ada verb. And then harus ada, kalau memang verbnya ini harus ada noun-nya apanya ya, yang not, misalnya apanya did not help, gitu kan. Okay, harus ada verb. Kalau tidak ada verb, paling tidak ada an adjective atau noun-nya apa. Nah, di sini, this is about the loan. Kita compare. Loan-nya dari mana? Dari Swiss merchant. Oh, oke. Kalau kamu, tadi kalau saya bilang, saya biasanya pakai verb, I can also use the word borrow. Gitu. Ya. Borrow, Swiss merchant. Nah, si listening bilang, dia walaupun borrow, dia rich lu. Kenapa? Had property. Nah, but then because property takes time to get cash. Jadi balik lagi dia had to take a loan atau to borrow. Reading says because of the loan, because he borrowed money from the Swiss merchant, he is not rich or not wealthy. Now I'm focusing on your notes. Number one, it's got to have a template. Dan template itu bisa macam-macam. Ini saya langsung potong kompas because with the TOEFL, it's usually contradictions. And I think this would be, my suggestion would be, this is like a good template for you to work on because your notes will become your outline for writing. Sama for listening, for speaking juga begitu. Okay? Now, nih ya, so for me, look at the notes. Conversations with V. Itu kan kalau Voltaire ya udah deh, lu susah tulisnya. Ya si V aja, gitu kan. Accurate, according to the listening. Kok bisa accurate padahal udah long time ago katanya di sini. Ya, but he wrote them each night. And he used these notes yang he wrote each night to be written in the memoir. Yeah, okay. And this is number 3. I'm now concentrating on how you write notes. Words-nya yang diambil. Ya kalau semua yang mau ditulis ya, you're not going to have time, especially when you listen. Ya, don't worry and don't forget that the reading will come up again. Jadi kalau nggak dapet di reading ya udah gitu loh, tenang aja. Try to understand, try to get the main points, the details you can get later because it comes up again kan dia keluar lagi nih di sini. Okay. So let's go now to a benchmark. Kalau dalam speaking, you have 0 to 4. Now, in writing, it is 0 to 5. Okay? And so, this is the, what is that? This is the prompt, yeah? Okay, this is the prompt.
Summarize the points made in the lecture, being sure to explain how they respond to the specific points made in the reading passage.
Okay. Now, based on our hamburger, right? Remember? Based on our hamburger. So, paragraph 1 will be something, paragraph 2, because you have an intro. Kan? Okay. So, paragraph 2 sebetulnya ini paragraph 2, ya, maksud saya paragraf 1 ini dari sini tadi. Tapi kalau sudah lari ke essay, berarti this becomes your second paragraph, right? Will be about wealth. The next paragraph, itu aja deh biar nggak bingung dengan penomerannya will be accuracy of the conversation. And the third one will be about the escape. Mari kita lihat, is it like that here? Do we find that development? Yeah, do we find that topic development here? Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to read. Ya, dengan tenang baca. I will give you Santika, can you please give them just 2 minutes? Kasih 2 minutes Santika to read this.
2 minutes? Oke, Bu.
Karena saya harus switch ke the next one.
Alright, 2
Jadi
minutes.
silakan dibaca dengan tenang. Ya.
Alright, starts now. Time's up.
Okay, so I'm going to continue ya. Coba sekarang baca. Okay, because I need them to really read this sample ya. Okay, ini terusannya ya. This is the first page and this is the second one. Silahkan dibaca dengan tenang. Okay, yeah. So, okay, I wanted to ask you to really look at the passage. I mean, look at the writing. This is an authentic, again, sample, writing sample response from one of the IBT test takers. All right, and this person got a high score. Okay, now Why did she get a high score? Right? Again, scores will be based on how raters assess you and rate you will be based on rubrics. So we have the speaking rubrics, and of course we have also the writing rubrics. We have the independent writing rubrics, and we also have the integrated writing rubrics. Remember that you need to download these rubrics from the ETS website. I hope all of you have already found the access the link to that. Yeah. Okay. Now, so unlike the speaking rubrics was very, very structured because it had delivery, language use, and then topic development. But for the writing rubrics, all of that is just put, okay, of course, language use is there. Topic development is definitely 100% there in writing, right? But of course, not delivery. It's more on topic development and language use, okay? But as you just glance, as you can see that it's not divided like topic development, language use. However, if you get to read the rubric, when you do read the rubrics closely, you will see that there are sentences here, okay, for task description score of 4, independent writing, and task description score of 4 for integrated writing. There will be sentences that represents, okay, topic development and language use. Okay. This person whom you just read her essay, we call it, right? Got a 5. And a 5, if you see the rubrics, this is integrated, right? Integrated writing. If you see the rubric, a 5, this is the task descriptor, okay? This is the descriptor. A response at this level successfully selects the important information from the lecture and coherently and accurately presents this information in relation to the relevant information presented in the reading. From the lecture compared to the reading. That is why in my T, okay, in my T notes, I have the listening on the first column and the reading on the second column. Because it always because the prompt is always how the lecture itu kan selects important information from the lecture and coherently and accurately presents this information from the lecture in relation to the relevant information presented in the reading. So it's like the commanding officer is the lecture. Apa yang dikatakan sama si lecture nih, yang what is the relationship with what is in the reading, gitu. Jadi si lecture yang menjadi komandannya, gitu ya. Now, the response is well organized. If you want to get a 5, and occasional language errors that are present, remember it's never perfect. Tidak ada in the rubrics speaking highest score of 4 and writing highest score of 5, you come across the word perfect, flawless, impeccable, gitu. Occasional language errors. So there will be language errors. But the language errors which are present, do not result in inaccurate or imprecise presentation or content or connection of content or connections. Okay? Kata-kata kunci coherent, accurate. Idenya ya, kontennya yang coherent and accurate. Oke. Nah, kenapa dia dapat 5? Karena note that in coverage of all 3 points. Berarti ada 3-3-nya, betul nggak? Tadi kan saya tanya. Okay, what is the second paragraph about? What's the second paragraph about? Does it suit our hamburger? What's the second here paragraph about? Does it suit our hamburger that we talk about? Yes or no? Yeah. And what is it about? Second paragraph tuh di sini ya. Soalnya dia ada ini nih. Walaupun dia seharusnya ini masuk. Second itu di sini. Oke, it's about wealth ya. Setuju? Oke. Bener nggak ceritanya? The first point of the lecture. Tuh. Lecture duluan yang keluar. The first point of the lecture disputes the reading passage's argument that the chevalier was not wealthy. Itu tadi hamburger, the bread, right? The bun, the top bun. Intro. Langsung to the point. Penyakit nih, kadang-kadang with Indonesian students I feel that you go in circle, gitu loh. Kalau nulis tuh muter ke sana kemari, terus kamu maunya apa? Be concise, be precise, taruh klaimnya. What's the claim? Bahwa the first point in the lecture dispute the passages argument tentang apa? That the chevalier was not wealthy. Oke. Proof dong, proof. Tadi kan harus proven ya. Evidence, gitu kan? Okay. The lecture suggests that the fact that he borrowed money from the Swiss merchants does not mean his poverty. Saya lihat konten ya, lihat konten. Saya nggak ngeliat grammar dulu nih. Oke, lihat kontennya. Idenya nangkep nggak? Bener. Oke. Terus di backup lagi, the chevalier probably had to convert. Kan katanya si lecture suggest bahwa he borrowed money does not mean his poverty. Kan gitu kan? Berarti harus di backup lagi. Maksudnya karena the chevalier had to convert his assets into money in order to pay for his parties and gambles. Okay. Oh, jadi dia punya aset. However, because it takes time to do so, he may first have borrowed cash to deal with all the costs. Kalau saya pasti minta ada penutup di sini. Berarti, gitu kan? The lecture and the ini saling contradictory. Kalau saya, nah ini bukan berarti dia perfect ya. This is what I'm getting at. It's okay, you're missing here and there, missing here and there. But this is a holistic score. Kita lihat secara keseluruhan. Bukan hanya dari konten, tetapi juga dari language use, vocabulary, and grammar. Gitu kan? Okay. So the first point. Coba nih. The first point. Terus the second point. Ini yang saya kemarin bilang. Apakah ini template? No. Kalau ada yang mengatakan kamu harus pakai the first point, harus pakai firstly, secondly, itu pasti nanti kamu dapat bagus. Ya tulis firstly, secondly, tetapi kalau sentence-nya, the first point, reading passage, lecture, not same. About rich or not rich. Kalau kalimat kamu begitu, walaupun ada the first point, ada the second point, ya nggak mungkin lah kamu dapat tinggi gitu loh. That's what I mean. Ya, there is no guarantee template gitu. Mau pakai first point boleh. Memang kalau saya pakai the first argument boleh. Kalau saya mau pakai the lecture state this about wealth, but the reading state that, boleh. Nggak pakai first nggak apa-apa, nggak apa-apa. Berikutnya mungkin baru dia pakai aside from the wealth, the lecture also questions, gitu kan ya? Oke, jadi be very careful with template ya, gitu. Itu memudahkan kita. Kalau kamu pakai boleh, saya tidak katakan tidak boleh, tetapi bukan harus. Dan itu tidak jaminan. Karena jaminannya ada holistic lah. Ada di the sentences that comes after that. Okay? You have to measure your own strengths. Okay? Okay, jelas ya? Nah, yang second point sama hamburger kita. The lecture argues against the reading passage opinion about the Chevalier's conversation with Voltaire. Ya? Nih, the reading passage argues that the conversation may not be correct because blah 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 blah. However, nah ini juga penting di sini dia blah 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 blah. Kemudian ada however, on the contrary. Oke. Nah, lebih bagus lagi kalau di sini sudah pakai however, di sini pakai yang lain. Itu loh. That's all I'm saying. Tapi bukan berarti kalau saya pakai however, salah. No. Jelek dong. Ya enggak juga, orang buktinya didapat 5. Oke. Ya. Hilangkan yang serba preskriptif. Gitu loh. Yang kayaknya resep. Gitu. Gak ada resep. Resepnya saya cuma bisa berani kasih resep the T model. Itu aja. Alright. Oke. Ini benar ya? Oke. Coba lihat lagi hamburger kita nih dari segi topic development. The third point of the lecture refers to when the Chevalier escaped. Okay. This talks about the escape. Alright. And then blah 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 blah. Dia mengakhiri di sini dari the essay. Unlike the reading passage. Jadi ini summary-nya. The lecture considers the memoirs of the Chevalier de Saint-Cloud as a reliable and valuable historical source, unlike the reading passage. Untuk saya, a person who can say this in a sentence using unlike and then correctly, that already shows an intermediate, higher intermediate level. Basic students will not be able to use or to produce this kind of sentence. Yeah? Okay. So, she got a 5. Right? Tadi nih. Coverage of all 3 points. Right? Explicitly indicated what the relationship between information from the reading and the lecture is. Explicit. Tertulis. Bukan tersurat. Okay? Bukan tersirat. Now, though test takers need not to do this explicitly, it is one successful strategy of ensuring the cohesion of a response. Explicitly itu tadi tuh dia sebut, gini aja deh. Dia sebut, nih, explicit, okay? Nah, it is one successful strategy for ensuring the cohesion. Ini yang kita sebut dengan cohesion and coherence. Jadi ada hubungannya. There are a few language errors, kan? Tadi kan saya bilang, begitu saya baca, he is not poverty. You don't say he is not poverty. He is not poor, gitu kan? Ya, nih. There are a few language errors in this response that illustrate quite well the scoring guides reference. Maksudnya scoring guides reference itu si rater lagi menulis about rubric, apa yang dikatakan rubric. To errors that bla bla bla. Nih. Di sini. So, dia mengacu ke sini. Errors bla bla bla. Tadi kan, scoring guide errors that bla bla do not result in inaccurate or imprecise. Dia mengacu ke sini ya. Ke sini. Imprecise presentation of content or connections. Okay? Note, for example, the word form error gambles. Okay, in point 1 coverage. Subject verb agreement juga ada yang salah. The lecturer disagree. Ayo, mestinya? Can I just have? Thank you. Disagrees, ya? Okay. The lecturer disagrees. Okay, bisa. Ada yang tadi bilang disagree. Boleh. Asal konteksnya dari awal memang you write it in the past. Jangan terus ganti-ganti tenses gitu ya. Okay. So lecturer disagreed atau disagrees. Depends on your essay sendiri ya. You write it in the past, you write it as if this already happened, or you write it like as something that's factual. It's okay. Now, and less than ideal word choice. Ini pakai material in point 3 coverage. Jadi di point 1 tuh tadi berarti dari the paragraph yang 2 tadi. Point 2 berarti dari paragraph 3. Point 3 berarti dari paragraph 4. The word choice error in point 2 misalnya, complete his memoirs with Voltaire is confusing. Ya. Nih, maksudnya, as a result, the Chevalier could use his notes and journals to complete his memoirs with Voltaire. Maksudnya, to complete itu apa sih? To finish. Gitu loh. Padahal yang lagi dipermasalahkan adalah accuracy-nya. Gitu ya. Jadi, ini sebenarnya membingungkan. Namun, but the idea of who, if anyone, wrote the memoirs along with the Chevalier is not central to this point. Jadi, ya udah nggak apa-apa sih, karena ini bukan sesuatu yang major, ya. So the error can be overlooked, diabaikan in what is overall a well-written response. Bisa diabaikan untuk a well-written response seperti ini. Oke, kalau saya tadi begitu lihat, here, does not mean his poverty. Itu kan? Atau does not mean that not mean that he is poor. Ini juga pasti saya lagi-lagi bingung juga sedikitnya if I read this. But anyway, it is not perfect. That's what I'm saying. Language use. Vocabulary. Do not use the word, the same word over and over again. That will show synonyms, right? Will show to the raters that you have a wide range of vocab. Dispute, argues, disagree. That's why I said, however, nih, di tiga-tiganya ada however loh berarti. Alangkah, okay, it would be better if you wrote, however, on the contrary. Okay, mau balik lagi however, cuman tahu dua, miss. Gimana mau tiga? Ya udah, ya apa? However, on the contrary, however. Is better than however. Okay? Okay. Now, you can see more samples. All right, you can see more samples. Kalau itu tuh high response, you can see more sample, and this is in the ets.org website. Di mana nanti saya kasih tahu, ya. Okay, but I'm just giving you that they have this task one. Ini sama loh, sama. The prompt is the same about the Chevalier. This is the medium response rationale. If you read rationale, it means that those are the words written by the raters. Because as I said, raters must be responsible for the score that they give to the test taker. And ini adalah accountability-nya. Okay? So, this is the high response. Beda ya? It's different than what I showed you. So you can see this, okay? You can focus this, review this on your own, all right? Now, and of course, practice will make perfect, right? So if you need to practice, now this is about altruism, okay? So I'm just going to give you, let's just do a 5-minute practice, yeah? Okay, let's just do a 5-minute practice, right? So, this is the same. Coba kita kasih 3 menit ya, San. Lu?
Oke, Bu. 3 menit ya.
Untuk baca yang ini. Okay, and take notes. Take notes. Okay, go.
3 minutes starts now. All right, time's up.
Okay, good. Now, so you probably have already used, the T, right? So this is what you put down under the listening. Okay. Now this is what you should put down. Take your notes under the reading column.
Now listen to part of a lecture on the topic you just read about.
You know, often in science, new findings force us to re-examine earlier beliefs and assumptions. And a recent study of meerkats is having exactly this effect. The study examined the meerkat's behavior quite closely, much more closely than had ever been done before. And some interesting things were found, like about eating habits. It showed that typically meerkats eat before they stand guard. So the one standing guard had a full stomach. And the study also found that since the sentinel is the first to see a predator coming, it's the most likely to escape, because it often stands guard near a burrow, so it can run immediately into the burrow after giving the alarm. The other meerkats, the ones scattered about looking for food, are actually in greater danger. And in fact, other studies have suggested that when an animal creates an alarm, the alarm call might cause the other group members either to gather together or else to move about very quickly, behaviors that might actually draw the predator's attention away from the caller, increasing that animal's own chances of survival. And what about people? What about some human acts that might be considered altruistic? Let's take an extreme case. Suppose a person donates a kidney to a relative, or even to a complete stranger. A selfless act, right? But doesn't the donor receive appreciation and approval from the stranger and from society? Doesn't the donor gain an increased sense of self-worth? Couldn't such non-material rewards be considered very valuable to some people?
Summarize the points made in the lecture, being sure to explain how they oppose specific points made in the reading passage.
Okay, guys. So my question is, my question is, if the Chevalier's memoir, we had 3 points, right? Being argued, disputed. How about this one? 1, 2, 3. Can anyone tell me? Chat box, please. Two, 1, 2, 1. Okay. Hello. Okay. Those who said 2. This is about what again? Altruism, yeah? Okay. If you said 2, we're talking about what and what? Okay. All right. Those who said 2. Animal. Okay. Altruism for animal, related to animal, and then altruism related to human beings. Right? Am I right? Yep. Okay. Thank you. All right. Yeah. So actually, it's you divide this. Your understanding is this. Is that it's talking about altruism, but it's talking about the relationship altruism in human beings and altruism in animals. And the animal is meerkats, right? Okay, yeah. Jadi altruism is the big picture, and then altruism in human is one topic, one subtopic. Altruism in animals is another subtopic. Okay? Okay, ada 2 subtopik tuh. Jadi hamburgernya udah kebayangkan, gitu. Hamburgernya sudah kebayangkan. Jadi ini hamburgernya nggak pakai cheese. Ya, kalau tadi kan 3, so it means you have vegetables, you have cheese, and you have meat. Now maybe this one you will not use, you will not eat. You will not order with the cheese. Mungkin hanya vegetable and meat. Okay, got it ya? Okay. Nah, si topik animal sendiri itu berisi beberapa contoh, right? Altruism in animals. Gitu kan? There are some evidence loh, ada beberapa evidence yang mengatakan in the reading bahwa ini they are like sacrificing themselves, kan gitu kan in the reading, but the listening said, not really, gitu. How many arguments gitu loh, how many details of the idea of sacrificing and not sacrificing. In animals, meerkats to be specific. Come on. Coba diurai dulu, coba lihat catatannya. Si meerkat itu ngapain sih? Kalau di meerkat ada yang namanya eating habit, alright, and there is a what? Who's doing the altruism? The sentinel. That's right. Yeah. So what does the sentinel do? Si sentinel ngapain? Observing, guarding. Okay, I think the best word would be guarding, standing guard. Yeah. Okay. What sacrifice does this guard make? What sacrifice does this guard make? Come on. Huh? He's hungry. He doesn't eat, yeah? Okay, he does not eat, kan? Right? Because he has to stand guard, so he cannot find food, right? Not eating. Face greater danger. Thank you. Not eating, face greater danger. Kenapa? Karena dia yang teriak-teriak gitu loh. Right? Greater danger because that means he is like, he cannot escape. Malah yang lain, dia kasih tahu, awas ada ini. Nah, dianya sendiri nggak bisa. Tetapi, so I'm just giving you an idea, right? Please listen carefully to how the lecture contradicts. Yeah? Argue about this. Is he really hungry? The lecturer said, no, because the sentinel usually, kenapa kok dia tidak melaparkan diri? Itu bukan sacrifice loh ternyata. He is full, Riza. Why is he full? He already ate first. Jadi itu di counter. Yang kedua, sebetulnya waktu dia teriak-teriak itu, can he escape? Or not? Can he escape or not? Yes, how? He runs away, right? Runs away where? Runs away where? A burrow. Ya, tuh. Kalau tadi kalian tidak tahu kata-kata burrow itu apa, nanti ini di reading ya. Ya, ditebak aja lah. Pokoknya ya tempat yang aman, yang dia bisa ngumpet, whatever it is. Right? Oke, dia sebetulnya nomor 1 yang bisa aman karena he can run. Begitu dia lihat, woi, danger. Ya udah dia tinggal lari kan. Nah yang lain masih, and the others are of course running around or not running around. They are running quickly, right, to escape. Now, why is this more dangerous for them? Because usually when a predator sees movements, right, the predator will then focus on those who are moving. Draw attention to the predator, not draw another predator loh. Bukan itu manggil-manggil teman predator lain, ya enggak. But jadi si predatornya ngelihat pergerakan, see the movement, it will go. They will direct, the predator will direct their chase, ya, okay, to the ones who are moving. Itu ya. Oke. Nah, you kebayang nggak nih how it's going to be your paragraph? Oke? Oke. Ya, ini practice
Now
aja.
listen to part of a lecture on the topic you just read.
Oke. Sorry. Itu tadi it's just what is that? It's just an idea on what to write here. Okay, don't forget. Yeah, and this is for the integrated. Don't forget your hamburger. Don't forget to go to IBT, the TOEFL iBT website. This is the website landing page, right? And this is, you just click the TOEFL iBT here and it makes sure that you're the test taker. Yeah, and this is where you will find also the independent writing task. I'm not going to focus on the independent writing task, right? But karena kalau independent itu pada prinsipnya, kalau writing is how to organize your ideas. That is the most important thing. And I think we have covered that. We have covered that. You have the introduction, you have the points, all right? It's the same. For example, you're given a prompt. It will take, you will be given 30 minutes this time. Yeah, 20 minutes for the integrated and the independent is 30 minutes. Okay. And you will need to respond, okay, at least 300 words because it's your own opinion. Some of my students feel that the first integrated question is easier, less challenging than the second one. Karena yang nomor 2 harus mikir, agree nggak agree? Apa ya? Okay? Nah, itu kalau untuk bikin outline for independent, kamu harus kembalinya ke sini. That's your outline for the independent. Itu, ini bukan reading, tapi outline-nya model seperti ini. Okay? Okay. All right. Now, so I'm just going to show you. Santika, can I just have 3 minutes just to show them? 3 menit lagi, Santika.
Take your time, Bu.
Yeah, okay,
We have not many questions today.
Okay, so I'm going to take them to the website. All right. Nah, ini di website-nya. Yeah. You will, I hope most of you have already found this because this is the interactive sample for the TOEFL iBT. Okay. And this is the writing part. So I'm just going to do this quickly.
Writing section directions. The writing section of the TOEFL iBT test measures your ability to write in English to communicate in an academic environment. There are 2 writing tasks. For the first task, you will read a passage, listen to a lecture, and then answer a question based on what you have read and heard. For the second writing task, you will answer a question based on your own knowledge and experience. In this practice test, you will be able to practice writing a response to each writing task and review sample responses. If you wish to compare your responses to the sample responses, you will need to copy your response to another document before continuing. Once you select Continue to view the sample responses, your response will no longer be available.
Okay.
Select Continue to go on.
Ini di website-nya ya. Jadi maksudnya you benar-benar nanti dikasih waktu begini loh. This is what I mean.
Writing based on reading and listening directions.
This is the integrated.
For this task, you will read a passage about an academic topic. A clock at the top of the screen shows how much time you have to read. You can take notes on the passage while you read. The passage will then be removed, and you will listen to a lecture on the same topic. While you listen, you can also take notes. You will be able to see the reading passage again when it is time for you to write. You can use your notes to help you answer the question. You will then have 20 minutes to write a response to the question that asks you about the relationship between a reading passage and a lecture. You should try to answer the question as completely as possible using information from the reading passage and the lecture. The question does not ask you to express your personal opinion. Typically, an effective response is 150 to 225 words.
Okay.
Select continue to go on.
So you don't need to give your opinion, right? All right, about the meerkat. Itu loh. Jadi nggak usah. Si Sentinel is pretty smart, ya. You don't need to give that opinion, right? Okay. Nanti ngasih opinionnya in the second writing, right? Because the second one is an independent one and it asks your opinion. Okay. Sekarang kalau saya continue, ini yang terjadi kan? Nah, ini yang tadi. You will see this, ya. You will see that the 2.53, 2.54, ya. Itu menit-menit countdown. Nah, nanti jadi kalian, ya tadi seperti kalau kita kan memberikan Santika yang jadi timernya nih. But there later on when you take the test, there will be a timer. Okay? Nah, tadi kalau ini saya nggak bisa nunggu 3 menit, saya nggak bisa nunggu 20 menit, right? But if you do this and you follow it, okay, then what happens is that you will find, tadi loh yang saya kasih lihat, you will find the sample yang ini. Ya, the sample of this one, right, is found when you follow what's happening in the, when you follow what's happening here. When you just follow, then you will get the responses, sample responses of medium and high. Okay? So we're not going to go through this because you have it already and you can study it on your own. So I'm just going to skip this
Independent
question.
writing task directions.
Yeah.
For this task, you will write an essay in response to a question that asks you to state, explain, and support your opinion on an issue. If this were an actual TOEFL iBT test, you would have 30 minutes to plan, write, and revise your essay. Typically, an effective essay will contain a minimum of 300 words. Your essay will be judged on the quality of your writing. This includes the development of your ideas, the organization of your essay, and the quality and accuracy of the language you use to express your ideas. In this practice test, write your response and then select Continue to see the sample responses. Sample responses will be shown on the right. Read the responses. When you are finished, select Continue. Select Continue to go on.
Yeah, so this is an example, right? And look, you have 30 minutes. Dia benar-benar countdown, 30 menit. Nah, kita tidak bisa menunggu 30 menit dan saya tidak bisa skip gitu loh. Kalau saya bilang next, saya keluar dari this writing section. So, but this is just to give you an idea, right? The question for the independent task is, do you agree or disagree? Sama dengan the question for the speaking, kan? Yeah, do you agree or disagree with the following statement? It is more important for students to understand ideas and concepts than it is for them to learn facts. Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer. Sama cara nulisnya ya, cara menulisnya is the same. The hamburger gitu. Okay, the hamburger essay. It's just now that kalau tadi dengan integrated, you are given the ingredients already, right? You know the cheese. Oh, cheese-nya itu mengenai accuracy. You know the vegetable is about the wealth, and the meat is about the escape. But now, for the independent one, of course, you have to think of your own meat, your own vegetable, and your own cheese. Gitu aja. Okay? Okay. So, I'm going to exit the question, right, and go back here. Yeah. Okay. So, I think that is from me for now. Santika, do we have any questions?
Hi, Ibu. So
Yeah.
yes, we do have some questions, but I think a lot of people still, maybe if you have questions, you can still send it to the Zoom chat box or anywhere you're watching from. Our team will try to give it to us, to me, so that I can ask Bu Hafil. But for now, we do have only a few questions, Bu. You can take your break first while I choose the question.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Can I just share my screen again just to remind them then? Right? It'll
Sure.
take you about a few
Thank you, Bu.
seconds, right? Okay, no worries. Just to remind you, everybody, just to remind you about this. Yeah, as I said, I promise that I'm going to show you this always at the end of the presentation. Yeah, okay. So remember, ammunition, your ammunition is your reading, your speaking, your listening, your writing skills. It's your English. Gitu loh. Ya, a test itu ya tes gitu aja. There are all kinds of tests. But once you are ready, and this is something that you need to develop, your ammunition, which is your competence. Test taking hanya strategi. Tadi saya kasih strategi tuh sebetulnya, the T. Oke, ya tadi sudah ada strategi-strategi sedikit. When I said, jangan pakai however, gitu. Jangan terlalu redundant. Saya kasih strategi juga yang tidak harus menjadi template. Selalu pakai first and then finally. No, it doesn't have to be like that. Okay? Itu strategies. But what we're talking about is always, of course, developing your competence. Because with English competence, then you are able to accurately select the answer. Strategy plus competence. Okay? Okay. Yes, Santika, you ready with the question now?
I do, Bu. So the first one is, I think ini tadi di awal-awal session banget. So Corey have a question. Sometimes for independent number one, it is difficult to focus on what we would like to speak or talk about. We will be given 15 seconds, but this 15 seconds, if we write the outline, it will also not be enough. And it will be difficult for, doing the speaking. Can you give some tips for this, Bu Hafil?
It will be difficult to write, right? You mean take notes. Am I right?
Take notes dan sambil ngomong deh maksudnya kayaknya. Because this is 15 seconds.
Oh yeah. That's why I think Corey, is it Corey who has?
Yes, Corey.
Yeah. So I think Corey, and for all of us here, the most important. That's why I made that's why I emphasize on what do you write on your notes. Gitu. Because you cannot write everything, right? You can't write everything. And therefore you have to practice on just selecting the points, the keywords. Okay, Corey? Keywords. Tadi saya share. Kalau saya, bullet points, yes. Iya bullet points sudah pasti. Tapi kalau saya selalu siap-siap juga nulis tuh harus ada verbnya. Karena nanti when I need to say something, then I need to. So the man agrees. So I think I have to. So according to the lecture, then I have to use verb. And when I write verbs that I hear, that I read, that will help me produce my sentence. Because when I produce sentences, when you all produce sentences, jangan lupa ya, subject plus verb. Right? So that's why I need to write verbs. Gitu. That's number one. Jadi practice, listening, and then writing verbs. Ini harus practice, mau nggak mau. Ya. Oke, itu salah satunya ya Santika, dan memang kita biasanya udah harus bip gitu kan. We have to talk. Padahal kita masih gimana tadi? Ya, dan ya udah, itu juga kita jadi ya mudah-mudahan benar. Kadang-kadang my student itu kadang-kadang dia jadi Tadi yang 3 saya lupa. Terus improvisasi gitu loh. Ya nggak apa-apa sih, kadang-kadang improvisasinya juga karena dia vague, jadi memang nggak salah ya gitu. Tapi saya tahu nih, kamu improvisasi ya, tadi kamu lupa ya. Iya sih ma'am, jadi saya rada-rada make up. Okay, but that is better than getting stuck.
Yes, I agree. Daripada 15 seconds kita benar-benar kayak dan blank doang, nggak ada keywords yang masuk sama sekali. It's better to have some of the keywords or the main idea being, delivered, and even though mungkin there are some parts yang ngaco, tapi kayak daripada nothing at all. That's what I think sih. Yeah. But yeah, and also because it's speaking ya Bu, kayaknya mereka sih sebenarnya rubriknya harusnya measuring how well you kind of like speak as well. So if you panic all the way, topiknya nggak dapet, speakingnya nggak dapet, the fluid, apa tadi Ibu suka ngetes tadi, fluidnya nggak dapet, then it's gone gitu. Ya, jadi kalau aku based on my experience dulu, it was long time ago. But I remember what I did was taking only the keywords. Jadi catatan aku tuh bener-bener kayak cuman beberapa kata, paling kayak 10 words in that, and then after that speaking. Jadi kayak aku nginget-nginget tadi tuh aku denger apa gitu. So knowing what to expect helps, and that's why practice makes almost perfect tadi dari Bu Hafil. Okay. Bu,
dan Santika bisa saya tambahin mungkin ya,
yes,
karena tadi kan kita template-nya jadi the T ya, gitu right, the T and the outline. There is also kalau untuk lecture, because they're also going to listen to lectures, right? Nah kalau untuk lecture itu, I think it's better if you also do mind map, mind map, tahu kan, mind mapping. Nah, Santika itu walaupun cuma 10, only 10 words, tapi you put it in a diagram, right?
Yes.
Nah, jadi kamu bikin, jadi kan ada hubungannya gitu. Jadi kamu bisa cerita gitu. I think that's it. Yes, Santika, go ahead.
Yes, and it avoids you to forget. Jadi kayak kalau tadi Bu Hafil ngasih ide itu bagus banget. Jadi kalau mind map itu misalnya nama aku Santika, and then I was born here, blah blah blah. Jadi kayak I can put the name, terus nanti tanggalnya di atas. Kan kita kalau nyatet kan kadang berantakan kan. Then you can draw the kayak the line, jadi kamu ingat gitu kayak nanti pas mau ngomong, oh orang ini lahir tanggal segini gitu, jadi kayak you can make the connection, dan kalau nanti ada info lain, jadi bisa di-connect nih kemana nih, ke orangnya apa ke tanggalnya gitu sih. So hopefully
I'll give you an example of a mind map next
Boleh.
week. Okay, alright. When we talk about the reading, karena si reading juga harus ada mind map sedikit. Oke deh. Sip.
Okay, so example-nya nanti ya Bu atau sekarang?
Ya, next week aja ya.
So yang udah di sini hari ini, if you want
sekalian review.
Yes, okay. If you want to learn about the another tips and tricks, ini udah kayak cliffhanger Bu, which is great. Kalau kita baca seru kan, cliffhanger, terus saya udah harus datang lagi next week gitu ya. New episode. Ini from Hargono. But Ibu said we have to make short intro each paragraph, how to connect. So tadi kalau aku nggak salah ingat, Ibu kayak bilang kayak use kayak however gini gitu. I think that's like the connector, but yang jangan cuma pakai however doang ya Bu ya. Jadi kayak harus bisa ganti-ganti. So is that how we connect each of the paragraph Bu?
Maksudnya tadi gimana? Kan di for sentences in a paragraph you make connections, right? Dari sentence ke sentence saja udah ada konektor kan?
Yes.
Ya enggak?
Jadi pertanyaannya sebenarnya lebih kayak how to connect each of the paragraph sih.
Oh, berarti kalau how to connect, itu jadi sebetulnya tadi kan pakai yang first, second, third kan gitu kan? Itu kan konektor sebetulnya, right? Yang tadi kan si anak tadi yang the one who got a 5, right? My example was that she was saying or he was writing first and the second gitu kan, pakai first second, right? Saya hanya mengingatkan bahwa si first and second itu tidak harus ada. Nah mungkin pertanyaannya adalah, jadi gimana connect-nya gitu ya? Maksud saya kamu bisa like one of the misalnya apa ya tadi, one of the disputes, one of the disagreements, one of the contradictions between the listening and the reading is about blah. Itu pembuka dari the first point, the first key point, gitu ya. Jadi nulisnya one of the contradictions. Kan jadi orang yang baca udah bilang, oh ini one of the contradictions kan? Gitu kan. Jadi nanti di second-nya, waktu introduce the second one, kamu tinggal stately say, other than the first one was wealth. Other than wealth, the listening atau the lecture also questions about this. Kan bisa begitu ya?
Ya Bu. Yes.
Itu sendiri udah konektor gitu loh. Jadi maksudnya please do not, jangan prescribe bahwa konektor itu harus first, second, third. Gitu ya, Santika, that's what I meant.
Oke. Ya Bu, that's clear. Jadi ya kalian kalau mikir kayak konektor itu harus kayak satu sentence to connect each of the small paragraph, that's not necessary karena kata-kata kayak firstly, secondly, in conclusion itu sebenarnya udah konektor on their own ya. Jadi keep that in mind. Okay, Bu. So guys, we don't really have much time left. So we are, I'm closing the Q&A for now. And you guys have to register for the third session and come again, just like this, for the next session, ya. Nanti aku akan share the Zoom link and the TNC for opportunity to get a voucher in the Zoom chat box. But if you're not in Zoom, you just need to go to atamerica.or.id and find this event page, TOEFL iBT Intensive Course. Mau part yang manapun ada tulisan TNC-nya di situ. Dibaca baik-baik dan dimengerti. And I think that's already very clear ya. Terus Bu, ini kayak ada satu pertanyaan yang agak teknis. If you know the answer, then please share. Ini, is there any recommendations for test taker who have learning disabilities such as dyslexia, or any tips for that for people who have that?
You have to contact ETS actually. Okay. Or I think you need to contact them. Okay, because if you go to the website itu kan ada si Anita atau si siapa tuh.
Oh, iya.
If you go to the website ada assistant loh sekarang. Iya. Itu baru tuh, dulu juga nggak ada kan. But you can, the contact center is that. Kalau kayaknya sih ada ya. If you please browse around.
Yeah, right? Please browse around because what I know is since ETS and is based in the US and they are very big on inclusivity and supporting disability, so they must have something to support you. Bahkan kayaknya kalau yang disability lain tuh kadang kayak aku pas baca-baca apa gitu ya, ada gitu tulisannya kayak about disability and everything like that. So please read from ets.org, click to full or find the page or any words that says disability support or anything like that, then you can be lead to your answer. If not, you can write them an email and ask them if there's anything specific for what you need, okay? Last question of the day is from Kindriski. Ibu, I think you have answered this like many times. I think udah bosen ya jawabnya. But this
still Santika yang mau jawab.
Kayak ini di writing test tulisannya kan 150 sampai 225 kata nih Bu. Kalau exceed gimana Bu? What happened? Kayak aja gitu.
Kamu lihat, oke, saya mah harus kasih lihat gini loh. Rubrik, kenapa rubrik sangat penting? Please download the rubrik. Okay, everybody who ask me that, I will say to them, look at the rubrik. Ada nggak dia bilang dapat 1, dapat 2, atau dapat 0 karena dia lebih dari 225 kata?
Gak ada kan? Gak di rubrik. Ya tadi aku udah jawab juga di chat box. Please refer to the rubric. But again, biar mungkin dia tenang juga, Bu Hafil jawab. So
yang penting gini loh, kalau melebihi tapi juga bagus ya yang ditulis. Jadi kita makanya ini kita sebut holistik dari kata-kata whole, gitu loh. Jadi tidak melulu melihat jumlah. Ada yang bisa nulis mungkin nggak sampai 150 bahkan, mungkin dia 135 atau 130, tapi dia tuh concise, precise, cakep semuanya. Ya itu juga oke, right? Oke.
Karena balik lagi ya ke rubrik yang dinilai itu bukan kalau nggak ada tulisan kayak kamu melebihi kata terus nilainya bakal kurang, then that's not what they're grading ya. Jadi basically that, cuman ya kita kira-kira juga misalnya maksimalnya 225 ya nggak kita juga nulisnya 500 ya.
Iya,
Kalau kamu
karena
ada
jadi
waktunya sih hebat, tapi
kenapa gitu Santika and everyone here is because it's like you tend to be bertele-tele gitu ya. You tend to be wordy. Gitu loh, kan kita udah tahu nih yang bikin tes sudah tahu kalau memang dia promnya cuman si meerkat sama manusia tadi gitu kan ya, terus dia ngomong 500 kata tuh dia ngomong apa ya gitu kayaknya jangan-jangan malah jadi lari ke sana lari ke sini yang tidak ada hubungannya. That's the idea. Okay?
Agree Bu. Jadi stay in the topic, concise, clear, and well written. That's all that they are grading. Terus aku ada pertanyaan satu lagi, Ahmad, ini the study plan essay separate with personal or SOP essay. So this question should be directed to me, Education USA Advisor, not Ibu Hafil, karena ini TOEFL ya, jadi it's a separate thing. Kamu bisa book a session, nanti kita share juga di Zoom chat box because you're in Zoom anyways. You guys can go to calendly.com/educationusa@America and then find the session that you need. Di situ aku udah bikin 3 kategori, 30 minutes just for Q&A. If you're first timer, kamu belum pernah kenalan sama Education USA, belum tahu Education USA bisa bantu apa aja, then please book for the 30 minutes. And if you have already know you need essay review and CV or resume review, it's already there juga ya. I know the slots are very, very limited just because there's still only one of us that can be doing the review sessions and everything. So thank you for staying patient with us, and thank you Bu Hafil for today. It has been very fruitful. I will see you next week, Bu Hafil, and everyone here. We actually hit 300 something.
Yeah, I think
Kudos to
330 or
everyone,
something.
and thank you juga buat semuanya. Tadi ini di chatbox pada say thank you, so thank you for having us, and appreciate you all too. All right, I'll give it back to Ara and close this session. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. Stay safe.
Okay, thank you very much, Bu Hafil and Kak Santika for today's session. I hope everyone gained a lot of knowledge and insights today. And earlier in the session, we asked audience members a trivia question, and that question was true or false. The TOEFL test is scored by both human raters and computers. And the correct answer to that is true. This method of scoring provides an accurate and complete picture of students' knowledge and abilities. Shout out goes out to M. Jody Septian for answering the question correctly, and thank you to everyone else who has also participated. Now, you may be wondering, how can I develop an awesome idea for At America? It's very easy. You can go to our website at www.atamerica.org.id, and then you can select Create an Event and collaborate with us. All event proposals coming to us will be reviewed, and your event might be featured with us soon. Also, don't forget to follow us on our social media at AT America on Instagram, Facebook, and also Twitter. Also, don't forget to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel and newsletter. With that, I think it is time to say goodbye. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. My name is Genara, and see you soon at the next At America event. Goodbye.